So we're going to be checking out American phrases British people don't understand. I bet there's going to be loads. There's going to be loads of phrases I probably don't know. Let's see if we can guess them. Let's see if I can work out what the phrases mean. Just before we jump into the video, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. It will massively help me out right now. Let's just jump straight into it.
For the birds, a carpetbagger, and getting to third base. That's right, in today's episode of the vlog, I'll be talking about American phrases that people from this side of the pond, the UK and Scotland, just don't understand. That's coming right up after this.
I don't think I'm going to know them.
Hello everybody, how are you doing? And welcome to today's episode of the vlog. My name is Sean. I'm a YouTuber from Edinburgh in Scotland, and it is great to be speaking to you and sharing.
He's from Scotland. I might not even understand everything he says, let alone the American phrases. I sometimes struggle with the Scottish accent. Probably if you're from America, you think like Scotland's probably not that far away from us, but the language barrier is completely different. There is a lot of stuff that they've got that's different to us. But you know what? Let's just try it. Check it out.
These cultural exchanges between Scotland and America. And you know what? Today I was on a plane travelling from Edinburgh to right here in London, and I was sat next to an American couple
he's in London.
who were speaking all about life in general, nothing important, but they had a couple of phrases they came out with that I was like, huh? What does that mean? And that got me thinking, like, what other phrases do you guys use that we really don't and just don't get? And let me look into them, because I think that's fascinating, right? So, welcome. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. It is great to speak to you, as always. And listen, if you're new, please don't forget, you need to hit the red subscribe button down in the bottom corner, and then you will be part of the family from here on in. Have you done it? Yes, you have, because you are my hero. Alright, so let's get into this. So I've done a wee bit of research, okay, into American phrases. Now, admittedly, a lot of these I have heard about before, but don't necessarily totally get what they mean. I might have a rough idea, but they're just not part of our language. And you know what? I am sure there are loads of phrases that we use here in the UK, in Scotland, in London, where I am right now, that you guys don't use
I
as
just
well.
want to see what the
and maybe
phrases
that's
are.
something
Come
that
on.
we get into in another episode. So, number one on the list of the 14 different phrases that I've picked up, found online, I want to discuss. A Monday morning quarterback. What on earth is a Monday morning quarterback, right?
What?
I'm going to be guessing these as we go along, and then
A Monday morning quarterback. Do you know what I'm trying to think? I mean, a quarterback does running sometimes. Are you running around a lot on a Monday? Is it a person that on a Monday, you know, it's after the weekend, you've had your weekend off, you've had Saturday and Sunday off, and you're running around a lot on Monday because you're trying to get everything done, work's fallen behind or whatever. I know like sometimes people on a Monday might have so many emails to catch up with, or, you know, work that's just piled up. Does it mean that? Running around on a Monday morning, maybe?
looking up the official versions. Quarterback is a football analogy, obviously, but let me guess. What is a Monday morning quarterback?
I'm guessing it's related to football.
That a Monday morning quarterback, presumably Monday is the worst day for training because you've just had a game on the weekend, so you're lazy. Is that right? Let's have a look. Apparently, it is a person who second guesses things.
Oh,
Monday morning quarterback.
okay.
I guess I'm a bit of a Monday morning quarterback sometimes. I don't really get that phrase. I don't know why it exists. But if you're into football, presumably you do know. Number 2, another sporting one, I think. Being behind the 8 ball. What is that? Behind the 8 ball, literally.
If you're on 8 ball, I'm guessing it's talking about pool. Does that mean you're about to win the game? If you're behind that 8 ball, you're about to knock it in, maybe? You're onto a winner, or you're winning in life. I'm guessing it's something on that. That's what I would take it as, that you're about to win, maybe.
I can't even guess what this is. 8 ball. Like I said, billiards, snooker, something like that. You're hiding behind the ball, is that right? You're hiding? Let's have a look. Someone who's behind the 8 ball, apparently, is someone who is in a difficult position. There you go. Number 3, when some...
I've just got it. So it's if you're behind the 8 ball, when you're not on the 8 ball, you've got to put a colour, and the colour's behind the 8 ball, and you can't get around, but you're blocked from taking your shot, the 8 ball's in the way. I'm guessing that's what it means then, basically.
Something is, and I quote, for the birds. Maybe
For the birds?
it is, because we do this in Scotland, right? I don't know about the rest of the world. In Scotland and in the UK in general, when you have old food that's like pretty much out of date, like bread in particular, if it's went out of date, we tend to throw it out for the birds to eat. Is that what this is? Is when somebody is talking about something that is really trivial. That is for the birds, as somebody is just talking nonsense, trivial stuff for the birds. I do like that. Here's a political one, I believe, okay? Carpetbagger. Boy, oh boy, what on earth?
Carpet burger. Like, we could buy really cheap burgers in the supermarket, and they're like really thin, like carpet kind of thin. Would it be that? A cheap burger, maybe? Is it burger he's saying, though?
is a carpet bagger. Carpet bagger.
Bagger?
Carpet
Bagger.
bagger. Like,
I'm not sure. Is he saying bagger or burger? I need to
I'm
hear
just going
it.
to think, right? Maybe carpet trade was important in those days between North and South. I think it's something to do with that. If you go way back in history, a carpet bagger is someone from the north of the United States of America who went to the south to try and make money.
Okay.
Sometimes
I was
for illicit
wrong.
means. But in a modern day context, a carpet bagger apparently is a politician who seeks election
it's a
in a
politician.
district, state, city that they don't live in. But it could also be a corporation apparently that profits from others' misfortune. Wow,
Okay.
there must be something about carpets in there, the trade of carpet. I don't know. But that is fascinating. I'm going to need to research about some of these. Number 5, this is something I have heard throughout my life and have never understood, okay? Fascinating because it's part of pop culture, part of television culture. We see it on TV all the time and we hear it when we hear any kind of American shows, right? Plead the Fifth. Plead the Fifth Amendment. I
Know this one. I'm probably going to get it wrong now. I'm going to get it wrong now, aren't I? I think it's the same as saying no comment. So when you watch people doing an interview, I'm sure it's the same in America. I've watched loads of crime stuff. Crime episodes and crime series that are American based. But I'm sure in interviews people do the same thing. When they're being interviewed, they say no comment. Now for me, I think it's the same as saying no comment. But maybe when you're being arrested, when you're being arrested, it's the same as saying no comment. Like, I don't know if when you're arrested, it's different in America, but when you're arrested here, they read you your rights and they say anything you say can be taken in evidence or it's something on those lines. And I think if you say that, it's the same as when you're being arrested in the UK, if I was to say no comment. But I think it's no comment.
I don't know the American Constitution well enough. I don't know what the Fifth Amendment is.
See
So I don't know what this one is, right? I am fascinated. The Fifth Amendment of the US Constitution protects people from self-incrimination. So presumably when somebody is pleading the Fifth, it means they are going to withdraw from making comment on something so as not to incriminate themselves.
Okay.
Is that roughly what it is?
So
Please
right?
interject down below in the comments.
It's
Let
like
me know
no
if I'm
comment.
kind of understanding or interpreting these correctly. Number 6, pork barrel politics. Listen, I have no Scooby-Doo. I have not a clue.
No.
Rhyming slang there for you that you might not know about.
So we're on to number 6. I've got one right, I think, so far. Definitely not getting this one right. I have no clue. I generally have no clue.
There's a British one. I have not a clue. Not a Scooby-Doo what this might mean. Pork barrel politics. Pork barrel is someone who is corrupt, right? Is that what I'm going to guess here? Pork barrel politics apparently is when a politician makes pledges towards a certain industry, maybe pledges some support or money towards a certain industry, and in return they will get favours politically. Right, the next one. Put up your dukes. I think this might actually be, in its origin,
put your hands up. It's got to be. It's got to be put your hands up. I'm sure that's the only thing I can think. Your hands, your dukes. That's what I'm going with. Put your hands up.
in British. I've got the feeling, okay? But I don't fully know what it means. So putting up your dukes is your fists. I'm going to say that is like in a defensive sort of thing. Let's have a wee look. Put up your dukes. Put up your hands apparently and get ready for a fight. Put up your dukes. Something bad's about to happen. Bought the farm.
I've got two.
Listen, this could be literally anything for me. Is that in reference?
I just got to see him do that again.
Like if you just spent a lot for a fight. Bought the farm. Put up your dukes. Something bad's about to happen. Bought the farm. Listen, this could be literally anything for me. Is that in reference, like if you bought the farm?
Not a clue.
Like if you just spent a lot of money on something because farms are expensive?
Bought a farm?
I don't know. Let's see. Bought the farm apparently is a euphemism for when someone is dying. That's a bit morbid. I don't totally understand it. Do any of you guys know better? Let me know in the comments.
I don't understand that one. If you use that saying, let me know in the comments. Explain it a little bit more, maybe, because I don't see the relation. Like a person buying a farm isn't a person that's dying. Maybe it's someone that just wants to start a new business. If I said like I want to retire and buy a farm, I'm lost on that one. Feel free to explain it in the comments because I'm clueless now.
Please. Here's one. Keeping up with the Joneses. That's another one we hear
I've
on
heard
TV,
this.
especially from American sitcoms and stuff.
So this is like I think, I might be wrong, if your neighbour goes and buys a 2024 car, so you go out and buy a 2024 plate car. If they go out and buy a new lawnmower, you go out and buy a new lawnmower. If they get solar panels, you go and get solar panels. I think that's what that saying is, from what I think, anyway.
stuff, but not something that we generally use here in the UK. But I kind of understand what it means, right? Without looking, it is when your neighbours, maybe a work colleague or a relative, is someone who spends a lot of money, likes to flash, buy lots of nice stuff, and brag about their situation, and you feel that you have to try and compete with that. Is that right? Alright, number 10. Taking a rain check. I think we kind of understand this, but we don't use it. Like,
is that to cancel something? Is that like a sport thing? Because it's the only type of scenario I could see it in. It starts raining, you got to cancel. You can't... Well, actually saying that, NFL... I've seen NFL games go ahead in snow. They go ahead in thunderstorms, everything else. But on an average game, I would guess, you know, if it rains too heavy, that's it, it's cancelled. So I'm guessing it's the same, it's a sport kind of term. Taking a rain check means you're cancelling and you're not coming. We'll see how close I am.
Another one that we hear on culture TV quite often, right? Taking a rain check means that you're going to cancel your plans, presumably because it's raining. Or you can use the excuse it's raining, even though it's not raining. Is that right? Apparently it came from when a baseball game was rained off and they couldn't play.
So you can say it when it's not raining.
Received a rain check, which was a ticket to allow them to come back to the game in future. Another sporting one. I had no idea this had anything to do with sports. I thought it was literally just the rain. But that makes a lot of sense. This one's quite similar to one we've just had a few minutes ago. Jonesing. Jonesing, I mean, like, is it going back to keeping up with the Joneses here? Is it the same type of thing? When somebody is jonesing for something, it means they have a craving. Either for an experience or an object. Another sporting one that I kind of understand because of culture, but we just don't use this at all here. Getting to second, getting to third base. I don't know if that's right. Is it one or the other? I don't know what it means. Getting to second or third base. Baseball analogy, right?
It's definitely not a term we use here.
Something to do with relationships when you're like making progress in your relationship.
Is it not like a... Would there be a difference between first, second and third then? First, second, third base, you've got in a relationship, maybe you're progressing to the next stage, or you're going on a date. It's something like that. I know it's round about those lines. It is relationship talk. I've seen it in some programs. Some programs I've watched, I've seen it in, and that's pretty much it. It's definitely not something you'd ever hear someone say in the UK, but...
You've went from just dating and talking to something else. Right? I have just looked up the meaning and yeah, I knew it was a relationship thing, but I didn't know the specifics of that relationship thing. Second base, direct physical contact between partners, people who have just recently hooked up, if you like. And apparently second base specifically refers to petting, touching. I'm getting what that means now. We don't need to go any further.
Yeah.
So what does third base mean then? I think we'll just leave that for now. Alright, okay, we're getting there. Shoot the breeze. Again, this is something that we've heard, but I really don't understand it. I mean,
killing
this is
time?
Quite a funny one because, like, shoot.
Is shoot the breeze like killing time? You haven't got nothing else to do, so you're just killing time. Or, you know, you got to the doctors too early, so you shooting the breeze? Waiting? What I would think, that's what I would think it is if I heard someone say it.
The breeze. I'm not kind of sure if this is something to do with actually firing off a gun or something like that, but there you go. I can't really guess what that means at all. But apparently it's just when you're talking to somebody about nothing important, nothing in particular.
Oh,
shoot the breeze. Alright, okay, can I get it? I don't really understand where that comes from, but it makes a little bit of sense. The last one, John Hancock. Was he not one of your signatories of American independence? The Declaration of Independence? So I know that's who he is roughly, but I have no idea why his name would be used as a phrase, as a verb, potentially. If I was to guess, I don't know. What did he do that was important? He signed a declaration. Let's have a look. If somebody's asking for your John Hancock, they're asking for your signature because apparently he had a very interesting, peculiar and flamboyant signature.
If someone said to me, can I have your John Hancock? I think I'd be walking away. I think I'd probably be going the other direction quite quickly. I'd be a bit concerned about actually what they're asking. So, yeah, we don't get that. No, I've never had no one say that to me in my life. But what is it that it actually is?
Because apparently had a very interesting, peculiar and flamboyant signature. There you go. I had no idea. That is fascinating. And guys, I feel like we've just touched the surface with this. There must be so many regional ones that you guys have between states, and I want to know more. So please, guys, let me know down below in the comments the particular phrases you have for your states. And let's maybe think about doing more of these videos along this theme in a bit of a mini series, because I'm sure this is going to boggle my mind. There's a British one for you. And I think it'll give us a bit of laugh along the way, right? But anyway, that was the end of this and another video in this cultural exchange between Scotland, between the UK and the United States of America. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. And remember, this Sunday, a new episode in the NC 500 road trip. I hope you are enjoying that series. Make sure you click the link down below to watch that series. And until the next adventure, guys, I hope you have a good night, morning, evening, afternoon, or whatever time of day it is, wherever you are in the world.
Well, that was a good video. It's a couple years old, so we have to have a look and see if there's any newer ones he's done of phrases and stuff, because it's interesting to find out those phrases. Honestly, some of them, I had no clue. I had no clue. But thank you for checking out the video. Like I said at the start, if you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. It will massively help me out. And I'll see you on the next reaction.